What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things that they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming down. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. And if I don't cough my ass off from that, it'll be a miracle. So, Hope you all doing well. I'm really trying to suppress a cough. Let me have a drink of coffee so I don't cough. Kind of weird saying that. Anyway, so I've got several things I want to discuss tonight. Couple of things up the top aren't, of course, included in the title or anything like that. I wanted to, well, I'm going to say bring awareness, but come on, like I'm going to bring awareness to anything. I don't have that kind of an exposure, so it'd be a bullshit thing to say I'm trying to bring awareness of this gentleman. I guess more than anything, I'm showing recognition. Yeah, that's probably more like it. There has been once again, by the way, and I love this. This is so incredible. And the link, if you haven't seen it, is in the description of tonight's show. And I'll tell you what. It's not often that I hear music that just really pulls me in, and that just by hearing the performer's voice, it's enough to put you in that space. And that is the difference between just a musician and somebody that is a legend. There are many legends in the past, like Hank Williams Sr., Patsy Cline, Kitty Wells, and I'm speaking to country for a reason. There are many greats from the past. I got to thinking about that earlier. And oddly enough, show you how squirrel-brained I am, I got to thinking, because I have put quite a bit of thought into this guy today. And I just watched, the first time I heard this video was this afternoon. So it's not like I've been listening to this guy. This afternoon was the first time I heard this song. And I was like, wow. And what really took me aback wasn't necessarily the incredible lyrics. It wasn't necessarily the incredible melody that he put with the lyrics. But it was his voice. This guy performs in a manner in which you, as the listener, get to feel what he's singing about. That is something that has not existed in music for a very long time. This guy is incredible. But it got me thinking. Again, this is going to show you how bad I squirrel. It got me thinking of the fourth turning. And the reason why is because I hear different inspirations in this guy. And some of those inspirations include Hank Williams Sr., Waylon Jennings, and back to the late greats, that the reason why they made music so good was because they lived the lifestyles that they sang about. So it was real to them. That pain that they sang about was real. They felt that. It's not like some damn Britney Spears or some bullshit like that up there, people singing about something that they have no clue about, because they've never had to live that kind of a life. And that's, in my opinion, why music has gone so far downhill. But I got to thinking of that, and I saw an alignment with, believe it or not, the fourth turning. I'm not kidding you. The fourth turning. And I can use one musician and his lineage and show you that. And that is Hank Williams. If you look at Hank Williams Sr., both the man and the legend, absolutely incredible from an entertainment standpoint. The guy's life was a train wreck. And I could name a number of people. Willie's life was a train wreck. Of course, Hank's, Johnny Cash. many of their lives were train wrecks. Some of it their own doing, some of it just a victim of circumstance. But I got to looking at Hank Williams and the lineage there. And you had Senior that lived the real deal. Then you have Junior that I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Junior. And then you have Junior's Junior, which, okay, you know, you can see a progression, and of not of greatness, but the other direction, as, you know, as it progresses on. Now, I would predict that either Junior's Junior, I don't know if he's the third or what he goes by, but Junior's Junior, wait, is that he? No, his name's, well, he goes by Struggle. He goes by Struggle Jennings. He, and I call him Junior's Junior just for reference. I think either his kids or his grandkids will be back in a position to make that music on that level again. Because obviously where we're headed, and I think that it's going to be a matter of that, absolutely a matter of people being able to bring out the old music, the old voices and stuff like that, because people are going to be living that way again. Not a good thing, but, you know, not everything in life is good things, so it's the way it is. Anywho, I just wanted to bring that up. Aside from, get my little thing back. Aside from that song I wanted to mention, I also wanted to bring attention to, I wanted to bring attention to Suspicious Observers and his video that he had put out this evening titled The Great Disaster Coming from the Experts, Evidence, and More. This is an absolutely incredible video, and if you want to see how not just the Bible, but religions from around the world, and I believe he even talks about the Quran, and how they all talk about the coming events, how they all talk about the coming pole shift, and it's one of those instances in the Bible, or in many different beliefs, that all of the different beliefs line up so really well with one another as to what goes on. He talks about that, Suspicious Observers, in this evening's video. It's also linked in the description of tonight's show. So I got the one dude's video linked, the music video, and then I've got this video here linked in the description. So I urge you to check them both out. It's not that often that you get that clear, concise information, and especially the biblical references, and then going beyond just the biblical references, but the references of other texts from around the planet. That to me speaks volumes. And that is, you know, that's why I will entertain a lot of discussion about SHTF, of many different forms of SHTF in many different ways, many different places. But I will always come back to pole shift. And the reason why I will always come back to pole shift is because that is a scientific fact that we are heading into. It's not debatable. It's not a maybe. It's not, well, Russia might set a nuke off in Ukraine. It's not like that. It's a no, this is coming, and if we knew more about it, we could actually get a pretty close timeline to when exactly it was going to happen. But there's a lot of data that's withheld. We don't get access to a lot of data that gets delayed. You know, hey, look, they don't want us to know what's going on. And they're doing, in my opinion, they're really doing a good job at this point of making sure that people don't know what's really going on. And that's all part of it. That's all part of the great deception that they're going to try to pull on you. And everybody, the world. They're going to, when we start seeing some of the things that are going to start happening, like the stronger storms, we're going to get much stronger storms. We're going to get much more just absolutely insane lightning storms. I mean, there's going to be so much lightning. It's going to be so intense. It's going to be so widespread. It's going to be nasty. I mean, there's actually going to be probably quite a few casualties from lightning alone just from the increase. This isn't, this is all scientific fact. It's not even up for debate. And so I look at that, and I look at the whole prepping thing, and by the way, that's what got me into prepping. Not fear of nuclear war, not fear of a failing supply chain, not fear of any number of these millions of things that could happen each and every day. It was pole shift, because there ain't nothing to set you back on your ass like imagining what several 1,000-mile-an-hour wind across the planet would do. And when you come to that realization, you sit down for a moment and you try to figure out how the hell you could possibly survive that. Now you know the realization that I came into a decade and a half ago or more. I come down really harsh on a lot of the prepping channels. There's a reason for it. Because there are things we need to be concerned about. There are definitive things that are, again, not up for debate. It's not a maybe. And you can rarely ever get any of them to discuss this stuff, because anything that is bigger than them, anything that they can't give you an easy solution to, they don't want to talk about. And it's just as sickening as the preachers and the pastors and the pulpits around this nation that won't tell their congregations the truth because they might lose out on their money. It's the same damn thing on YouTube. I almost started going off like a preacher there. Can I get a hallelujah? Will you say amen? No, we won't be going there. What's the preacher man going to do next, huh? No, I haven't been drinking. This is me normal. Surprise! Sorry. Oh, man. Anywho, Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers, tonight's video, must watch. Okay, I guess we are kind of up to what the show is named after. And I haven't even read through these articles, to tell you the truth. The last couple of weekends, and I may need to do it for a little while, I don't know. I have thrown news as far away from me as I can get it. I have thrown everything in and around the prepping world out of my mind. And I may do it for a while to come. I don't have to let this world steal my joy. And I'm not going to let it. I am in control of that. Nobody else. And I think a large step for me gaining that joy back is to be able to disconnect from all of this bullshit, even if it's for a couple of hours of time in a flight simulator. So, again, the last couple of weekends, they've been kind of refreshing. They've been kind of therapeutic. The weekend before, this just past one, I did a lot on the painting side in Flight Sim. This weekend, I did more on the flying side. I made it up to the tippy top of Maine, so I'm up to this afternoon, early evening. I landed the tippy top of Maine, and now I gotta fly all the way back across the Continental Divide to Friday Harbor over in Washington, I guess. Oregon? Washington. The Continental Divide. Past that Niagara Falls. It's been, they've had a couple of the updates to the plane over the past, a couple of weeks. And luckily I can report that since the last update, I haven't had any more of those prop strikes. I mentioned having these odd prop strikes, like flying along through the air, and bam. Haven't had any more of them since the last update, so that's good. That's awesome. I have to own the flaps, though. I'm doing something to blow those flaps out, and I think I figured it out today. Because we all have our habits, and there's something in flying called slipping, and if you need to drop altitude or get rid of some speed fast or both, you slip the plane. What you basically do, you kick the rudder one way and you tilt your ailerons the other way, and so you're still level, but you're flying crooked, you're flying cockeyed, but you're level, and it will slow you down in a hurry and allow you to lose altitude if you need to, which is usually why you're slowing down in a hurry. Well, I think what happens is I kick that rudder all the way to the left because it's always my right flap that I'm blowing out. And it's just my natural habit that I always kick left rudder, and I just go full left rudder and then kick that aileron. I think what I'm doing is blowing the flap out when I do that. So in other words, slow it down, take it easy, quit flying like a tard, and plan your landings a little bit better, and learn how to go around if you need to. Those are all me getting on to myself. Alright. So other than that, though, I was in my happy little flying place, flying a Richard Petty Blue with Flames plane to finish up the flight today. If you know Richard Petty's plane, or his car, his race car, that's Petty Blue. So, and those are the flames that I found to put on it. So, that's what and I don't, in the sim, I don't have the tip tanks on. So, it's not like I was playing around with black tip tanks. So, anyway, I'm just playing as far as the paint job's concerned. Okay, I reckon we can do that thing that they call news. That's a bummer. China makes weapons breakthroughs. So we all know, and I'm not saying, by the way, I want to make that very clear, that I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that this article necessarily has anything to do with what's happening in Hawaii. I think that sometimes some things are said to hype people up. Like, for instance, when weather balloons get carried away by winds and get carried across a different country, and all of a sudden it's some dastardly spy balloon with all these capabilities and blah, blah. It was a weather balloon, folks. It was just a frickin' weather balloon. Jeez. So then, not long after all that weather balloon stuff went on, there was video that was recorded of these green lasers, like a grid of green lasers near Hawaii. Like everybody freaking out. LIDAR. Rah, 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 rah. Say it again slowly, maybe without the rah, 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 rah. LIDAR. LIDAR. That was LIDAR. It's not really a hidden technology used by aliens to poke our eyes out at a high frequency, but yet low milliwatt range of UV ultralight that we never see coming, and then it just fries our brain. No, it's nothing like that. LIDAR. They shine LIDAR across the ocean, right? Because if there's something on the ocean, like a ship, right? They can see the ship with the LIDAR. And I'm making fun of all the prepper channels out there. And the other ones are like, oh my God, Russia's blue. And the other one's like, China. And I'm sure someone in North Korea. And I'm like, it's fucking LIDAR, dude. I'm fine. Seriously, though. Is that not the way it is? LIDAR. That's all. It was probably our own. But if you think it's the space alien reptilian overlords, then go right ahead. I'm going to call it what it is, though. LIDAR. I don't know, I like the word. It's kind of cool, ain't it, LIDAR? Anyway. Kind of almost sounds like Darth Vader-ish, you know? LIDAR. Ensign, go get me the LIDAR. You know, I mean, it would work, right? You'd be scared of that, right? Somebody said, you know, somebody's about to kill you. They said, go get me the LIDAR. It would sound scary, would it not? Like, oh, fuck, what's the LIDAR? There's some flashy lights in them. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I'm getting huffed by the dog. Apparently I'm going too far. I'm getting huffed by Blue. So, well, I am carrying on and on. Anyway. So China makes a weapons breakthrough. Chinese military scientists have reported a research breakthrough that could make it possible for Beijing to develop high-energy laser weapons that can shoot. By the way, lasers were a new technology when I was in school. Okay? And I can remember sitting down for an assembly in school, and I wonder if anybody else has seen this assembly. And it wouldn't be that far out of the ordinary, because these individuals traveled the country giving assemblies to schools on lasers. It's a new technology. It was pretty amazing. But if you remember one thing from that assembly, it will be from the way that the lady said, laser! Because she always, laser! I mean, it was just like, it was really weird how she just kind of hung out. If you saw it, you'll remember what I'm talking about. And it's possible, if you're about my age, it's possible that you saw the same lady in your school. Oh, that was hilarious. Anyway. Let's see. I don't know how far I got on that. Basically, it could run for as long as it can without interruption, without degradation in performance, which is like absolutely unheard of. Even the flashlights that we buy from, you name it, whether it's, we've got Anker boulders. Hey, they work good for me. Whether you pay the money out for the Nightcore, the Olight, whatever, they all have, the bright ones, they have limitations on them. In other words, they'll shine at their full brightness for so long, and then they will tone themselves back a little bit. And all of them do it. Some a little more degree than others. And the Anker boulders, they do kick down quite dramatically, and it does happen rather quickly. So, just to be honest about it, but I love them. I'd rather pay that $30 or whatever for an Anker boulder LC90 than I would want to pay a couple $100 for an Olight, or to me that's goofy. But I mean, do what you will. But anywho, so the reason for me telling you that, howdy Freckles, the reason for me telling you about that is because we can't even make flashlights that don't have overheating issues and stuff like that. They're talking high energy lasers. That's incredible if it's true. It goes on to say scientists at the National University of Defense Technology in Changsha, China, published the results of their research earlier this month in Acta Optica Sinica, a peer-reviewed Chinese journal. They claim to have developed a new cooling system that makes it possible to operate high-energy lasers indefinitely, meaning without effects from overheating. This is a huge breakthrough in improving the performance of high-energy laser systems, the team said in its research paper. High-quality beams can be produced not only in the first second, but also maintained indefinitely. That is huge. If this is true, that is huge. The cooling system controls gas flows to remove heat from inside a laser weapon, preventing vibration and disruptions in performance. It can enable longer operation, increased range, and greater firepower, the scientists said. They noted that 60 years on from the invention of the first ruby laser, weapons developers haven't been able to create death rays that can instantly kill targets. Some of the most high-profile U.S. laser weapons projects have been canceled despite shooting down targets in testing. The true reason for the cancellation of these projects was that their destructive power did not meet expectations, the Chinese scientists said. Longer, continuous operation times are needed to extend the range of laser weapons beyond a few kilometers, they said. Such weapons generate high-energy beams that heat up the gas in their path as they pass through the air, creating turbulence. This effect can distort the beam, diminishing its accuracy and strength. The heated gases can also contaminate the mirrors in a laser weapon, reducing performance and potentially damaging the system. The Chinese researchers said they developed a system that blows gas through the weapon to remove waste heat and keeps the mirrors clear. Their technology is already being used in a number of laser weapons that the Chinese military has under development. Beijing reportedly intends to use such weapons against drones, missiles, and aircraft. They also could be used to target satellites, disrupting enemy communications, navigations, and surveillance capabilities. So I know a lot of people might automatically say, oh, well, that's just, Chinese propaganda to get us to fear them. Let me remind you that we already have a reason to fear Chinese military. Many reasons. But I'm speaking particularly to the hypersonic missiles, of which the Pentagon and our defense experts are still just in awe and in complete disbelief of what they saw themselves. I mean, what can you say about that? I mean, not only have we not achieved a hypersonic weapon at this time, but their advancement in the hypersonic technology is way beyond first generation hypersonic technology. We're talking second, third generation hypersonic weapons technology. That's what China's got coming out of the gate. Just saying. So, to say that they've got a way to cool a laser, I'm not going to call them liars. I am not going to call them liars. I am not that foolish. Interesting, and something to really keep an eye on, I would say. Now, I also don't think that this story was put out to get anybody thinking about connections to Hawaii. I really don't. I think that was, in that sense, a coincidence. That's all. I really don't think. That's not even what they're saying here. They're not even saying that they're not even claiming that they have that capability. Do they have that capability? I don't know. I think so. I think the ability for them to use laser weapons from space to burn entire areas of the planet, I most certainly think that we have that capability. I'm sure China's got it. I'm sure Russia's got it. So, this big breakthrough might not actually be a breakthrough at all. They might just be unveiling technology from 30 years ago. Just saying. The Star Wars program was real, and it involves space-based lasers. Just saying. That was in the 80s. So, it's been a little while. 40 frickin' years. God, I'm old. This age thing is bullshit. Okay. Anyway. China warns of resolute measures after Taiwan VP's visit to the U.S. And I brought up this article. Again, I'm more than anything trying to show you that we keep poking that dragon, just like we keep poking the bear. We're poking the shit out of the dragon, too. And we need to keep an eye on this stuff. Is it for real? Is that what's really happening behind closed doors? I can't tell you. I don't know, folks. And the reason I make sure to keep saying that to you is because I don't want you to have your mindset so firm on the notion that what we see is what we get, because we already know damn well that's not the case in a whole lot of things. So, there's no way for us to know just how big, how far the deception goes. All we know is there is a great deception. Okay. China closer to bringing lab-grown meat to the dinner table. Remember what I was just saying just a minute ago, that I don't know whether or not we're all in this? And when I say we're, I'm not meaning you and I, by the way. When I say we're, I'm talking about the ones that make decisions for us. I'm talking about that we're. I don't know if we're really against these nations like China and Russia, when it seems like all these nations are doing so many things in lockstep with one another, including lab-grown meat, and I don't know, vaccines maybe? I don't know. It just seems like there's certain things, social credit scores, I don't know. There's just certain things that all these nations that seem to be so much at each other's throats agree on. Like the social credit score system and lab-grown meat and, well, I'll be damned. I'm telling you. Be careful making your mind up on what you see as far as being truth. Because I really do think that we're getting snookered. I really think we're getting snookered about all this conflict. Just saying. Alright. Hang on, I gotta have a drink, a couple of vapes. Pink Starburst. Can't wait, by the way. After that's gone, I have to make more. And I live on my show I added to my Pink Starburst recipe to see if I can get it closer to the actual candy. Because it's off. It's not quite right on it. So I'm going to add some peach to it to see what that does. Fun times. Man, I wolf that coffee down when I do this show. It's amazing. My first cup this afternoon, or well, I should say this evening, my first cup this evening, I had that down in no time too. Some nights I do, some nights I just sip on it. Okay. Food prices in France surge, and you've heard me talk about other nations, heard me talk about, Europe as a whole. You've heard me talking about Germany and the UK. They're all having price problems, especially with food, including the United States. While our prices, for the most part, have seemed to level out, some's gone down. It's still very elevated from where it was, say, pre-COVID. And I don't think we're going to see those prices go back down. I think they're the lowest now that you're going to see them. I think they'll continue to go up from where they're at now. I think this is going to happen around the planet. And what do I think it is? I think we're getting priced out of real food. I think that's what they're doing. I think what they're going to do is they're going to continue that with every way in our lives. They're going to price us out of everything. They've already started doing it. They're going to price us out of food. They're going to price us out of energy. They're going to price us out of everything. They're going to make it to the point to where hardly anybody can get by. And then they're going to come in and they're going to act like the savior, and they're going to have a new deal for us, just like they had a new deal over 100 years ago. Or roughly 100 years ago, I guess. They're going to have a new deal. Ain't going to be no deal at all. That's where we're heading. And I find it more and more amazing every day that I've got a book that predicts every damn bit of it. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. And I have not, I don't believe, seen this come out on RT. And if I do cover it when I cover the headlines, my apologies. But I don't recall seeing it come out in RT's news. Yet anyway. And again, I could have missed it. We'll see. When I go through the headlines, we'll see. Russian warship fires warning shots at cargo ship in Black Sea. I guess they tried to contact the ship, in which the ship did not reply. They wanted, I guess, to inspect the ship. I guess when the ship did not reply, that's when they fired warning shots, as they say, as they claim. And I haven't heard anything that goes beyond standard operating procedures, so be it. Maybe the ship should have stopped. What? I mean, ain't that all red teams, you know? If you didn't do anything wrong, what do you got to worry about? Kind of funny, though, how they only want that to work one direction. Anywho. Good enough. I've got headlines from Friday on till this evening. And I'm going to read them and get the hell out of here. Sounds like a plan. Alright. No, Blue Huff, so... Alright, starting with Friday's headlines. 6 arrested over presidential candidate's assassination. Not our country, not that lucky. Lucky? Yeah. U.S. hints at support for Niger intervention. China condemns U.S. cyber theft. Anti-Russia sanctions destroying German industry, says MP. Russian oil remains top choice for major Asian economies. Moscow airport briefly closed due to drone alert. West can't defeat Russia, says Vucic. I don't know how to say his name. Explosions reported in Kiev after air raid alert. Death toll in Hawaii Inferno raises to 53. It's actually over 80 now that I had last seen. It was over 80 now. Air defenses down drone over Moscow, says mayor. Pentagon's defense of cluster munition use by Ukraine is cynicism, says Russia. Russian energy revenues higher than last year, says Handelsblatt. Zelensky held closed talks with top British generals. Again, we're on Friday's news. Germany faces years of gas supply anxiety, says storage operators. Kiev reveals it has spy network in Russia. Russia issues positive update on historic lunar mission. Ukrainian lives cheaper than American, Polish president suggests. Illinois Supreme Court upholds state's ban on semi-automatic weapons. Yay us. U.S. extends permission to pay taxes in Russia. Let's see. Zelensky announces sweeping military purge. I covered this. Musk reveals new location for proposed fight with Zuckerberg. YouTube bans Scott Ritter. Ukrainians can't fly F-16s until the summer of 2024, says Washington Post. I wonder if they're going to do like a new Bryan Adams song for it, you know? Summer of 24! You know, I mean... Maybe not. I definitely don't need to sing that song. That's for sure. That should be like criminal. That bullshit should be criminal. I have no idea. It better not be the Russians, though, because, well, by golly. Oh. What they're going to do about the semi is already out there. Well, I don't know. I'm thinking that's Amazon. That's it. We could go beat Amazon and take the package. No, I'm kidding. But it's like living in the New World Order, but this isn't in California. It's Illinois. It's bad enough, but it's not quite California bad. So we're not going to go gank the Amazon person for the package. So... Anyway, let's get back to some headlines before I get charged with criminal offenses. Let's see. Turkey believes Ukraine peace talks futile without Russia, says Hurriyet. Futile. Yeah. There's only one other place that I hear about being futile. And I hope them bastards don't come for us. 'Cause them Borg just ain't right. UK PM forgets Brexit happened. Four lights. What are you talking about, homie? UK PM forgets Brexit happened. Huh? Oh. Oh, hang on. Oh, hell. Hang on a minute. Actually, hang on. Let me go ahead and close. Blue, quit. Let me go ahead and close up tonight, and I will catch you all tomorrow night. All right?